Hello everyone, welcome to video lecture series of Computer Organization and Architecture. Today's topic is addressing modes. In this video, I'll be talking about what do you understand by addressing modes and how many different kinds of addressing modes are there. Let us begin. The term which we are talking in this particular video, which is the addressing mode. So addressing mode is a way in which the operand of an instruction is specified. See, you must have heard the operation field of the instruction. Means about the instruction we have already discussed in the previous video also, and you know that in a computer program a number of instructions exist. So instruction specifies the operation which is to be performed. It means the operation must be executed on some data which is stored in the computer registers or memory word. If we are having our like data only, then the on that particular data the operation will be performed. So the way the operands are chosen during the program execution, that depend upon the addressing modes of the instruction, or you can say different ways to specify the location of an operand in an instruction, that is known as a addressing mode. There are various means via which you can express it. See, computers use addressing mode technique for various purposes to accommodate basically various things. But out of those, two things are very important. There are two provisions. So out of those two provisions, either one or both the provisions can be can be taken into the consideration by the computers. First, to give programming versatility, which is very important. So this is first like important task, and the second is to reduce number of bits in the address field of the instruction. So either one or both, to reduce number of bits. So either one or both the things can be taken into the consideration. Now let us talk about the types of addressing modes. In this video, I'll be talking about these many types of addressing modes. So let us begin one by one. First is the implied addressing mode. Implied addressing mode is also known as a implicit addressing mode, and in this particular case operand are specified implicitly in the definition of the instruction. Means the instruction which is the complement accumulator, that is the case of the implied mode instruction, or in the previous video itself we have discussed about the zero address instruction. So in stack organized computer, zero address instruction are implied mode instructions. So you must remember both the examples. Next is immediate addressing mode. Immediate addressing mode means in this particular case, the operand is specified in the instruction explicitly, right? And instead of address field, the operand is present and it contains the operand. And let me give you an example. Suppose you are writing add 10. So what do you mean by add 10? Add 10 means whatever the content is available in the accumulator, adding 10 into that particular value. If you are writing move R, 20, it means you are going to initialize the register which is R to which particular value? The value which is 20. So this is what immediate addressing mode. Next is the register direct addressing mode. Register direct addressing mode, here the operand is contained in the register set. You must remember, as you can see over here, the operand is contained in the register set, and the address field of the instruction, it refers to a CPU register which contains the operand, as you can see in this particular diagram, right? And here no reference to memory is required to fetch the operand. Suppose, let me brief you with the help of an example. Suppose you are writing add R. if you're writing add R, it means adding something, right? Add R will increment whatever the value is available in the accumulator. Incrementing by what? Incrementing the by the value of R, means whatever the value is available in the content register. So you can see the value or the content of register R plus accumulator, that is being, means you are writing add, and the result will be available in the accumulator itself. And this addressing mode, it is very much similar to the direct addressing mode. The only difference, this is similar to direct addressing mode, and the only difference is address field of the instruction, which refers to the CPU register instead of the main memory. I'll be telling about you for the direct addressing mode also. Next is register indirect addressing mode. So register indirect addressing mode, here the address field of the instruction, it refers to a CPU register which contains the effective address of the operand. So how to compute the effective address of the operand? This is actually the required one, and only one memory reference is required to fetch the operand. Again, let me give you the same example. Suppose you are writing add R, means it will increment the value stored in the accumulator by the content of what? Register, means content here, this bracket, this specifies the memory location. Memory location at which the data is being stored. So that data will be added into the content of accumulator and the result will be available in the accumulator itself. So here it specifies the data which is to be copied from the memory location. That is why this is the indirect addressing mode. You must remember the difference. And it is very much similar to the indirect addressing mode, and the only difference is the address field, right? Next is direct addressing mode. As I have told you about the register direct addressing mode, and this is similar to that. So here the address field of the instruction, it contains effective address of the operand, and only one reference to memory is required to fetch the operand, and it is also known as a absolute addressing mode. For example, add x. Add x means definitely add operation is going to be performed, and it will increment the value which is stored in the accumulator by which particular value? It denotes the memory location. So memory location x, whatever is value it's having, suppose the memory location x, it is having a value 10 and the content of the accumulator is 20. So this is what 20 plus 10, the result is 30, which will be available in the accumulator itself. So that is why this is the direct addressing mode. Indirect addressing mode, the next one. Here two references to the memory are required to fetch the operand. Two references, you must remember it. And the address field of the instruction, it specifies the address of memory location which contains the effective address of the operand, right? So again, if I'll be taking the same example, add x means adding the content, means incrementing the value which is stored in the accumulator by the value which is stored in the memory location x. Here the effective address, that is equal to what? Address part of the instruction plus the content of CPU register. So that is how effective address is being computed in this particular case. Stack addressing mode. This is very interesting. See, in this addressing mode, the operand is contained at the top of the stack. Operand is available at the top of the stack. Suppose, for an example, if we have written an instruction add, what does it mean? Means here the operation is being performed on the top of the stack. Suppose this is the like stack. If the two values are available, this is 1 and 2, the addition operation is being performed. So this instruction means pop out these two values, then addition of these two operands will be performed and the result will be pushed again at the top of the stack. Means the two symbols which are available at the top of the stack, they has to be taken out, perform addition and again store the result at the top of the stack. So this is how stack operating mode, addressing modes you can explain. relative addressing mode. This is very interesting. See here, what is our like requirement? Requirement is to compute the effective address, and the effective address of operand is obtained by adding the content of program counter to the address part of the instruction. That is how by adding these two values we'll be able to calculate the effective address of the operand, right? So effective address, content of this plus address part of the instruction, and program counter. You are aware with this program counter. Program counter always contains the address of the next instruction which is to be executed. And after fetching the address of the instruction, the program counter value gets increased, and the value increases irrespective of whether the fetched instruction has completely executed or not. Means program counter is pointing out a particular value. When that particular instruction is being executed, the next instruction, for that the program counter will change the value. Index addressing mode. Index addressing mode, here also you can compute the effective address, but there is little bit variation. Effective address of the operand is obtained by adding the content of index register with the address part of the instruction. So by adding these two values, you can compute the effective address. You must remember the various types of addressing modes, their meaning, their function in detail. Next is base register addressing mode. In this particular case, effective address of operand is obtained by adding the content of base register with the address part of the instruction, right? So that is how you can compute it, and accordingly in this particular way the operation will be performed. Auto increment addressing mode. Auto increment, from the name itself it must be clear to you. Increment, after performing some task there must be some increment. So this addressing mode, this is a special case of register indirect addressing mode. Here effective address of the operand, that is equal to the content of the register. What happened in this particular case? After accessing the operand, the content of register is automatically incremented. Incremented by what? Incremented by the step size. And step size must be dependent upon the size of the operand. If the step size is D, so it means step size depends upon the size of operand, and only one reference to memory is required over here. As you can see over here, in this particular diagram, let me explain you with the help of the example. Suppose you are assuming the operand size is 2 bytes, right? It means initially this pointer is pointing out this particular location 3300 where the content is 6B. It means after fetching the operand 6B, the instruction register, which is this R auto, this instruction register will be automatically incremented by 2. Why 2? Because 2 is the operand size. So after fetching this particular data, it will increment by 2. It means now 3300 plus 2. It means the next location which is to be pointed, that is 3302. So at memory location 3302, the next operand will be found, and which is 7F. This is how auto increment addressing mode you can explain. Now come to the auto decrement addressing mode. Auto decrement addressing mode, again the special case of register indirect addressing mode. Effective address of the operand is content of register minus the step size. First, the content of register is decremented by the step size. Step size depends upon the size of operand, and after decrementing, the operand is read. Again, one memory reference is required. As you can see over here, this particular pointer point out the location 3302 where the operand is 6C. Right? Operand size is 2, means after fetching the operand 6C, this is C, the instruction register are auto. This particular instruction register will be decremented by 2. So 3302 minus 2, which is coming out what? 3300. Now it will point out this particular address from which the next operand, which is 1F, that will be fetched. So this is how auto decrement addressing mode work. Thank you so much for watching this video.